Natural disasters have been relentlessly battering China. From April 4th to 6th, China's Guangdong province experienced extreme weather conditions, including heavy rain, hail, and tornadoes, causing severe damage and flooding in many central and northern areas of the province. Sap Nguyên City was particularly hard hit as an ancient tree was knocked down by the wind, blocking the road and creating chaos with people trapped in rising floodwaters. Dark clouds rolled in, completely covering the city before the downpour began. Videos captured show rivers near Sap Nguyên flowing fiercely, with water levels reaching alarming heights. Streets in the city were submerged in a sea of water, with vehicles deeply flooded, causing chaos and difficulties in moving. Residents were advised to stay indoors and avoid traveling unless necessary.
個龍捲風咁啊，逛到好似。
In response to the emergency flooding situation, the Guangdong provincial government quickly launched a comprehensive response campaign. More than 21 districts and counties within the province activated emergency measures to deal with the ongoing flood situation. Emergency service teams, including the fire brigade, were rapidly mobilized to carry out rescue operations and assist people in affected areas. Shops and businesses, along with the waterlogged streets, faced difficulties, while some residents risked navigating flooded roads on motorcycles with water levels up to their knees to escape from the hazardous areas. Sap Nguyên City elevated its response level to level 3, indicating the necessity of implementing more vigorous and decisive measures to protect the people and property. Meanwhile, Thang Nguyen and Hop Nguyen applied level 4 response measures, reflecting the severity of the natural disaster. Coordination and decisive action from relevant agencies are key to minimizing damage and supporting the community through this challenge. Throughout history, Guangdong province has also suffered numerous punishments from Mother Nature. Among these, September 10th has become an unforgettable day for the locals when a record-breaking heavy rain caused severe flooding in the city of Maoming. The recorded rainfall shattered all previous records, with 334 millimeters of rain falling, causing the urban area in the town of Yinghao to be submerged in the water, turning them into raging rivers. In the face of this natural disaster, rescue forces were urgently deployed and began a large-scale evacuation campaign. Rescue workers did not hesitate to enter the dangerous areas to rescue the initial 117 people trapped. and this number increased to 798 people safely evacuated by noon that day. In Jiuzhou, which houses an important reservoir, flood discharge measures were implemented from early morning to control the rising water levels. Other reservoirs in the area also conducted water discharges to relieve pressure on the dams. Despite tireless efforts, the situation worsened when the Shaodong River unexpectedly breached its banks in Bisha, causing widespread flooding and severe destruction. Around 9 a.m. on September 10th, an emergency call from Guangdong reported a historic flooding situation at a single-story house where the floodwater had risen to dangerous levels. Immediately, fire and rescue teams were mobilized, and they quickly deployed rubber boats to reach and rescue the people stranded in the fierce floodwaters. In the same context, Yangcheng was also facing widespread flooding, resulting in many houses and roads along the riverbank being swept away by the floodwaters. At the same time, Jiasheng could not escape the impact of heavy rain, as the city recorded a significant rainfall of 33.7 millimeters. In Gaochao town of Langzhong, the situation became even more serious, with rainfall reaching 221 millimeters. The aftermath of these natural disasters prompted authorities to quickly issue warnings to residents in the downstream areas. They were required to be always ready to evacuate and seek safe shelter in the higher ground areas in order to ensure safety and stay away from the potential dangers of flash floods. Faced with a severe natural disaster situation, the city government of Maoming promptly deployed a Level 3 emergency response mechanism to control the flood situation. Emergency announcements were sent throughout the city advising residents to only leave their homes if absolutely necessary. To ensure public safety, all urban bus routes were temporarily suspended as the floodwaters had turned roads into uncontrollable raging rivers. Although the skies over Maoming were darkened by the Haikui storm, rescue teams continued their relentless efforts, battling against the harsh weather. Rescue equipment, such as rubber boats, were deployed, navigating through strong currents to reach and rescue stranded residents. Each passing hour witnessed the unity and courage of the community through relief actions and the sharing spirit of everyone. The government and people of Maoming were working together not only to overcome the current difficulties, but also to rebuild and restore peace and security to life after the severe rains and storms. The dam disaster is one of the most terrifying events that humans can face. And the destruction of the Three Gorges Dam in a matter of seconds is a frightening scenario that could have catastrophic consequences for China and surrounding region. The Three Gorges Dam is the largest hydropower project in the world, crucial to China, holding billions of cubic meters of water. If it were to be destroyed, a massive amount of water would surge out, causing a devastating flood or storm. Nearby cities and regions would be submerged in water, putting millions of people at risk or missing. According to the Chinese authorities, the city recorded 29.3 inches of rain from Saturday to Wednesday, marking the highest level since 1891, based on the data from the Beijing Meteorological Bureau. China is currently enduring major storms as Typhoon Doksuri heads north after hitting the southern provinces of China. According to a report from NASA's Earth Observatory, Doksuri made landfall in Hainan and Guangdong of China on Monday morning, causing severe flooding in Beijing. The massive storm damaged infrastructure, forcing tens of thousands to evacuate for safety. This storm is one of the worst to hit northern China in years, and the torrential rain in Beijing has claimed at least 20 lives. In Beijing, over 31,000 people have had to evacuate from their homes, while construction sites have been halted. Beyond Beijing, extreme rainfall also struck northern China and areas along the Yellow and Huai River. Chinese President Xi Jinping called for rigorous search and rescue efforts, as well as flood control and disaster relief work. Nearly 30 inches of rain fell in 5 days, causing severe flooding in the Chinese capital and surrounding areas, inundating and damaging roads, electricity, and even drinking water pipelines. Beijing recorded its heaviest rainfall in 140 years over the past few days, resulting in at least 20 deaths, countless people trapped as severe floods hit the city and surrounding areas. Officials report that at least 20 people have died and 27 are missing after water levels rose dangerously. Roads were destroyed, some areas lost power, and drinking water pipelines were damaged. It is currently unclear how many people are trapped by the floodwaters in the city and surrounding villages. Thousands of rescue workers have been dispatched to one of the hardest hit areas, Jiaxia, a city of over 600,000 residents southwest of Beijing. Over 134,000 of them have been affected, with more than 1/6 of the city's population having to evacuate. A residential area twice the size of Paris has been flooded, and nearly 1,610 acres of agricultural land have also been affected, with a flooded area expected to expand even further. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, over 430 million yuan will be allocated to repair damages to crops and agriculture, as the ministry warns they face a battle to avert disaster. Local officials say the city is grappling with water shortages and power outages as they call for boats, life jackets, and emergency supplies amid reports of water levels rising up to 13 feet. Rescue teams navigated the flooded city in paddle boats, moving those trapped without water, gas, or electricity to safety. An emergency situation was declared by officials in Haibei after 14 inches of rain fell on Saturday, the heaviest rainfall since at least July of 2012. On Tuesday night, police made a plea on social media for the provision of lighting equipment to aid in rescue operations. Thousands have been evacuated to shelters and schools and other public buildings in the suburbs of Beijing and nearby cities. The capital's residents were taken aback by the severity of the flooding, as Beijing's summer are typically arid, and a record-breaking heat wave occurred earlier this year. China is facing an unimaginable natural crisis as the heaviest rainfall in 140 years has sown a series of disasters. From north to south, the country is submerged in water as storms and floods sweep through. China's Emergency Management Department reports that 142 deaths or disappearances were recorded in July due to the flooding or geological disasters. A large landslide occurred in an industrial area in the city of Shenzhen, southern China, causing approximately 22 buildings to collapse like sheets of paper. In the face of nature's overwhelming power, local authorities quickly carried out evacuation and rescue operations. According to local government reports, around 900 people were safely evacuated from the hazardous area. Fortunately, thanks to the skilled efforts of the rescue team, 4 individuals were extracted from the rubble and were either unharmed or sustained only minor injuries. A central water pipeline with a diameter of 1.4 meters has been damaged, causing a massive amount of water to overflow, flooding many streets in the capital Baku. This pipeline, which connects the main reservoirs of the capital, has now broken, resulting in a powerful flow of water affecting traffic and the lives of residents. Authorities are working hard to address the issue and have issued warnings to residents to stay away from the affected areas. An unprecedented powerful storm has hit the area, blowing away numerous houses, bringing fierce winds that have nearly paralyzed transportation, making it impossible to move. The storm has created terrifying scenes, with vehicles being pushed back by the wind. Local residents have been advised to stay away from open areas and seek safe shelter. Please leave your discussion comments below the video comments section. Thank you very much for your keen interest, follow-up, and enthusiastic support. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. For now, we say goodbye and look forward to seeing you in our next videos. Wishing everyone a warm day with your family.